4, 3, 2.
Yes, thanks for staying with us on the Sports Show. Time to talk some footy, Baz. It's not too far away. AFL, of course. The SANFLW is going. The SANFL is not far away, so plenty happening. And this club dominates in both areas of the Woodville West Torrens Footy Club. Tess Baxter, the coach of the women's, joined us. Matty Goldsworthy, of course, two-time premiership player, joined the 200 club as well last season, mate. So we've got a couple of big flyers in. Let's start with you, Tess. It was a good win for you on the weekend over the Bays.
Yeah, the girls are pretty happy with it. It was a very tough game, trying conditions, but yeah, really happy with it.
Let's talk about the conditions because they were pretty horrendous. I mean, it poured with rain all day, really, but you're a smart coach and obviously with the crystal ball realised that. So during the week you had them train in the rain.
That's right,
But you did a bit of tackling work. I'm really interested in this because they brought in a girl called Kelly Rourke who, I think, you correct me if I'm wrong, I mean, great rugby player. She played for Great Britain as well, but you brought her in during the week to work on tackling.
Yes.
How did that go?
We actually have a girl called Zana Anthony in our program, and she's a dual sport athlete. She's done quite high level touch footy and rugby.
Yep.
And she had mentioned Kelly previously as an opportunity to get her out and do some tackling. The week prior, if we looked at the stats, we didn't do that well in that area. So it worked out really well actually. So Zan got in touch with Kelly. She was fabulous. She came out. She's done a little bit of tackling work with teams before. And like you said, the rain came out on Wednesday as well. So she took the girls for a really good session. And then obviously we took that straight into the game on Saturday.
Did you see the fruits of that in the game?
Yeah, definitely.
You actually saw some improvement in that area?
Yeah.
You're always going to get it, but was it significant?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously in the wet there's always going to be more tackles. I think we were 20 or 30 tackles up on the week before.
Okay.
But one thing for us is we've got a really young team and trying to replicate that physicality at training can be a challenge.
Yeah.
So having that as the whole, I guess, focus of the session really forced the girls to step up in that area, gave them a bit of confidence. And then, you see the younger ones are making those good tackles on the older, stronger girls, realising they can do it.
Yeah.
Brought that straight into the game on Saturday.
That win on the weekend, that was needed for you, wasn't it? It hasn't been a great start, but that gave you a bit of a boost because you got a Friday night game. I love the fact that the girls get you to Friday
night game.
Yeah, they get a Friday night game at Richmond.
Yes.
Yeah, or what they call it now. They call it all these grounds different thing, but that was an important win for you.
Yeah, it definitely was. Obviously lost the first two. Got like I said, a really young team this year that have got quite good skills. So it was really interesting that the one that we won was the more scrappy contested game.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be really important for us because not only now do we know that we can play good clean footy, but when the ball becomes quite a contested game, that's going to give us a lot of confidence moving forward that we know we can win that contested footy.
Absolutely.
So definitely a win that we needed. The girls got up and about it, obviously. But I think what we'll really take from that is that reminder, well, if we won that game against a really strong contested side, let's bring that into the dry games as well.
Okay.
People are always interested in this though, but you're down by 5 points going into the last quarter. People are always interested in what does the coach say that gets you the win? I know it's a 3-point win and it's close, but can you recall if you thought you said something in the third quarter that actually went through into the last quarter? Because most coaches go, I give them these instructions and then no, they didn't even listen to me. I'm sure they didn't. So.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's a good question. I think for us, as we said, we had that focus already on contested footy, and Glenelg on the third quarter, they got on top of us in that space. But they didn't capitalise. They weren't able to. They didn't put any goals on the board in that third quarter. So I really just spoke to the girls about flipping that in the fourth, and we'd be the one that'd be the dominant team, but that we had to finish it off. And we actually called on young Kiana Lee to really step up. She played behind her player a little bit during the game. The Glenelg girl had quite a good game on her, and Kiana had a fabulous last quarter, brought everything to ground, and she was actually the one that laid the tackle, got holding the ball, and kicked the goal that put us in front.
Yes.
So I think Kiana was really important in that last quarter.
I want to get to you, Matt, but I just want to ask this one question about Kiana. I reckon it was last year I heard you do an interview about Kiana and you said it might have been the first year she played with you. I can't remember the context of it, but you're saying what a great player she's going to develop into, and she's been the one this year that's been a standout player for the group. Has she gone up another level this year?
I think without getting into it too much, Kiana has had a really challenging life outside of football as well.
Yep.
She's no doubt an absolutely talented footballer, and to her credit, she's really stuck at it. So for her, I think this year is about building herself, building her confidence back into her football. And we're yet to see her best footy because of those challenges. But again, I say, it's amazing that she's really stuck at it the way that she has, and I expect her to build through the year, and we'll see her best footy, I think, in the back end of the season.
Hey, mate, let's get to you, mate. One of my favourites from the York Peninsula, mate. A couple of lads that come down and then stay with the one club the whole time, mate. We don't see that much in footy. For you, the journey coming down, I know it's the Eagles zone, and probably about under 17s you started to come down and play, but I reckon you were in year 12 when you first played in the senior team, were you? So you had to try and fit in study, travel and playing?
Yeah, it was a busy time. Back then it was, the 17s, 19s program, and so that's where I started in the under 17s, played a full year there in 2007, and 2008 was lucky enough to progress right through 17s, 19s and into the seniors, and that was year 12, and as soon as I finished schooling, jumped straight down to Adelaide and got stuck into a full league pre-season, so it was.
Can you remember your first game, mate, in the seniors, around 18 against Sturt? I know you kick a goal.
Yeah. And
you tell a pretty good story about it too.
Oh, can I?
Yeah.
Well, I do. I remember because Simon Feast
fell on you.
He basically fell on me. Yeah. I think people these days, you always feel that bit of contact and you just fall forwards. And I was pretty small back then, and he's a big guy, so fell my way.
Yeah, it's a good start to your career, mate. And then obviously 2 premierships with the club. You had 200 games with them as well. I mean, well done on all of that. What motivates you this year?
I think as a footy club, we're yet to go back to back, so it'd be a nice thing to achieve. We obviously lost quite a few players this year to the draft, and a couple of guys have moved into state, but we've tried to, add some high-end talent to that. So hopefully we can use those guys and push for back-to-back. Would be great.
It does change, doesn't it? The list changes all the time now with the AFL and whatever. It's hard to keep that same solid team or list even, because next year you might lose, as you say, 4 or 5 of the draft, whatever. But they always seem to stay strong, the Eagles. They always seem to get over it, if that's a term I can use.
Yeah, it definitely changes year to year. We've certainly had years where we've stayed quite stable, but last year the draft really cleaned us out a little bit. But I think the massive strength of our footy club is our local zone areas. The York Peninsula and the Clare Valley are very strong, and also in the metro areas, Henley, and in the last few years since we've taken over the Port Adelaide metro zone through Port Districts, we've had a lot of good players. So I think that's where our strength comes from.
Hey, Matty, you've played up forward, mate. You've played in the centre, you've played in the back. You've become the multi-purpose player, mate. Is there a spot that you'd like to stay in?
I think I'll say wing, because that's where I think I'll probably play this year. I've just gone where I've sort of fitted for the team. Obviously started as a forward, and due to some key guys coming back from the AFL system, I sort of just found myself in the back lines, and since Sheeds has come on board, he was keen to get me around the footy a bit more, and I've been able to sneak down and kick a few goals, so it's been nice.
Hey mate, before we go, at the start of the year, and there is always an expectation on the boys at West Torrens that they're going to be in the finals. That would be no different this year. You said you've got some good players coming back, feeling confident that you're going to be around the mark again?
Yeah, I think so. We've played a couple of trials now against Glenelg North, who I think will be right up there as well. Obviously in trials you're trying new things and players in different positions, but we've had a couple of wins there, and with so many new players, we just want to, keep building that continuity with each other.
So here you go. Hey, appreciate you coming in, Matty, and Tess, good luck for you for Friday night. Big game. Hope you can keep the momentum going now. Got a win and you're away. Appreciate you both coming in. Good on you.
Thanks, guys.
Stay with us. Plenty still to come.